Month, Ashlyn and myself had the privilege of leading at the ESB luncheon on Wednesday, and we did several different hymns. And what we wanted to do was kind of share the backstory of some of the hymns that we did. And one of the ones that has kind of a modern rendition of the song is a song by Fanny Crosby called "Rescue the Perishing." Does anybody know that song? It's an old song, 1869. And we're going to share that with you this morning, but I wanted to read the story. It's short, but I wanted to read the story because it's so just encouraging, powerful, and challenging, just hearing her story, and even in her older age, how she was able to minister. So I'm going to read this to you, and we'll sing this song, and you can sing with us. But it's "Rescue the Perishing, but others saved with fear, pulling them out of the fire," June 23. While visiting her friend Howard Doan in Cincinnati, Fanny Crosby, the blind hymnist, was asked to speak to a group of blue-collar workers. Near the end of her address, she had an overwhelming sense that some mother's boy before her must be rescued that night, or not at all. She mentioned this to the crowd, pleading, "If there is a dear boy here tonight who has perchance wandered away from his mother's home and his mother's teaching, would he please come to me at the close of the service?" Afterward, the young man of about 18 approached her. "Did you mean me?" he asked. "I promised my mother to meet her in heaven, but the way I've been living, I don't think that will be possible now." Fanny had the joy of leading him to Christ. Returning to her room that night, all she could think about was the theme, "Rescue the Perishing." And when she retired that night, she had written a complete hymn. The next day, Howard wrote the music, and it was published in the following year in his Songs of Devotion. Many years later, Fanny was speaking at the YMCA in Lynn, Massachusetts, and she recounted the story behind "Rescue the Perishing." After the service, a man approached her with his voice quivering. "Miss Crosby," he said, "I was that boy who told you more than 35 years ago that I had wandered from my mother's God. That evening you spoke, I sought and found peace, and I have tried to live a consistent Christian life ever since. If we never meet again here on earth, we will meet up yonder." He turned and left, unable to say another word, but Fanny later described it as one of the most gratifying experiences of her life. And this is the part I love here. It says, this song served as a prelude to Fanny Crosby's second career. At age 60, she began working in downtown rescue missions, spending several days a week in lower Manhattan, witnessing to the down and out. Despite her fame as a hymn writer, she chose to live near poverty in New York's ghettos, for she felt a calling to minister to the needy. Just a few blocks from her little tenant apartment was the Bowery, a haunt for alcoholics and where every kind of vice flourished. There Fanny would go day after day to rescue the perishing. May that be our heart as well.
Tell them of Jesus.
Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save.
Down in the human heart, crushed by the tempter, feelings are buried, that grace can restore. Touched by a loving heart, wakened by kindness, chords that are broken will vibrate once more.
Rescued and perishing, careful and dying. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save. Church, open your eyes once more. See what Christ died for. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save. As we're playing our songs, while singing and well, have you forgotten the loss, the reality of hell? If we say we love God, wanna see His will done, will we offer our lives, or just the songs we have sung? Do we even care? When will we care? So rescue the perishing, care for the dying. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save. Church, open your eyes once more. See what Christ, see what He died for. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save.